Hello everybody, this is Kismet. Today we're going to be revisiting Godus, this time exclusively on mobile with a mega playthrough. Of course, we're going to throw in some Kismet tips. This is episode 1. Let's dive right in. Now I'm going to be replaying Godus on my iPad Pro 12.9 inch with the Apple Pencil. Really does allow you to do a lot of shaping without getting that finger burn from shaping too much on your tablet or phone. I find it works a lot more precisely. Now the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and restart Godus. You can go to the settings menu and restart the entire game, which is a great feature if you want to start over and play through in a different way. You can play through many different ways in Godus. I'm going to be playing the double fountain playthrough, which is going to help us a lot with keeping our settlers happy. And so we start on our home world, and we've got our followers. We need to learn to sculpt the land. We've got ahead and unlocked our sculpt the land card. Now throughout this video, I'm going to be speeding stuff up, sometimes 4, 8 times, 20 times, just to show you the steps along the way. Now my followers believe I am their god, and one of the few things I've never done in this game is actually let them run into the barriers. And so this time I'm going to go ahead and let them run into the various different barriers along the way before I shape, which I think is very interesting. I like to find these little things where it says, oh, they're blocked, help them go forward. And also will tell a little bit about each area as it goes along. It's too cramped, or it's too swampy, or too ugly in this case. And here we are at the promised land. I think this looks like a little happy face on the right side, doesn't it? With the mouth and the 2 eyes. Now you really can't do anything else right here in the very beginning. You have to remove this rock and you have to put the house right there. You can't shape anywhere else because you haven't unlocked that yet. So we have to put the TP right here. Then we'll go ahead and do the second TP, which we have no power over. It must go right there. Again, you can't shape the ground. You can't add anything to it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set up my grid. Now, the reason why I go 5 levels up here, or the top sand level, is because eventually I want to transition to the grass. And so as you see, I'm shaping it out here. And there's a specific grid that you can line up off of this beacon. It happens to be lined up off the beacon. We're going to do the bump, as I like to call it. So we'll bump it a little left and then up, and then we'll try to get the other one right underneath it. And this is how I typically get started. I line these 2 up off each other, just like that. And then from there, I'll go ahead and use that as kind of my template. Now, the great thing about the mobile version is it actually keeps the square around the bottom of your houses. So it's really easy to shape around and use that as a grid. Now, why do I use a grid? Well, I use a grid to maximize my belief production. And that's what I want to do, create a belief generator. So as many people as I can put in there to create that belief generator, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to let it choose how the TPs go. Until I get to New Age shelters. Then I'll go ahead and unlock the chest. And then we'll go ahead and put our sticker onto our New Age shelters like that. There we go. And that's now going to allow us to make shelters that produce belief in the long run. The TPs do not produce belief, so at some point you definitely want to take those out or merge those into a settlement. But for right now, we'll use them to expand our population. And there we go. Our next card, Restore Ruins. Now, as you can see, I have additional areas in which I can expand already. But we want to go ahead and get our Restore Ruins always going. Now, the difference between the mobile version and the PC version has to do with active and passive play. So when you're playing the mobile version, things continue to run when you're not playing. As opposed to the PC version, when you quit out of the game, everything stops. So once I unlock belief, and if I were to stop right here and I come back later on, the belief would have already generated back up again to 40 on each of them. Next, we'll go ahead and do a little sprogging for our chest to unlock some of our cards. And I'll go ahead and shape forward. Now, I keep everything on that 5th level. I rarely unlock anything other than the ones that settle on grass because I want to keep all the stuff on the sand level at the smallest house possible because it will generate belief the fastest. And this will allow me to actively play the game. If I use large buildings, they take a lot longer, and it's more of a passive play, where you make large buildings, you let it build up with a ton of belief while you're not playing the game, and then you come back, get that belief, and then you continue on. At the beginning, I like to actively play, where I'm going ahead and I'm shaping stuff out, I'm lining things up, and then I'll transition from the smaller buildings into the larger buildings. Right now, I'm trying to get bigger abodes and unlocking a ton of chests along the way, and shaping out areas in which I can expand to get up to the magic number where I can get those larger grass-based houses. So smaller houses on the desert, larger houses on the grass. When you're shaping sand, the 5 levels of sand and the 2 levels in the ocean, it costs you no belief. So those are your free shaping areas. And so if you do that, you shape out at that level, it will cost you a lot less belief or no belief to create a whole production facility that's all around creating belief as quick as possible so you can continue to expand your population. And here we go. We've hit 50 now, which is command followers. We'll go through and do the tutorial real quick. Leashing is a really important thing. I try not to do leashing if I don't have to. Leashing is a bit later, or I try to build in the direction in which I'm going. So I started down at the Promised Land there, and I'm working toward the Temple of Discovery now. I'm constantly working on getting all of these chests unlocked so I can unlock my different cards. And I'm looking very specifically for the one that'll unlock bigger abodes. There we go. Now we got our bigger abodes. We're ready to work toward our Temple of Discovery. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shape everything in as close as I can around there. Take out all the trees. Now, why do I take out the trees? Well, the trees are a fire hazard, plus they're worth belief. So they're going to give me an extra bit of belief so I can shape the grass area. I'm also going to create a stairwell on 2 sides in the Temple of Discovery to block those 2 areas also. I'm going to be putting something there later on. That's going to help us out. And then I also, if you notice, I start in the back and then work my way forward in the direction I want to go. This way it has a further reach. So first they're going to do the ones that are the closest, then they're going to do the ones that are further away. So I always have a tendency to kind of be doing that. I also have a tendency to be, when I'm waiting for stuff, to be shaping out areas, trying to get one more house here and one more house there. As you can see, that's what I'm doing right now. Shaping in what I consider the cheap areas where you can very easily put stuff in. And there's our rock belief. Our rock belief is going to be very important. I remove some rocks in the beginning just because they're in my way, but I try to save as many as I can until I have unlocked the rock belief, because that's going to make a huge difference and really boost our expansion later on. Now this one you can actually get, even though it's right on the edge. You can also remove some trees and rocks that are on the edge. And there we go. We'll collect our belief, and then we'll use this belief to continue to expand our belief production. Again, at the sand level, really easy. Very cheap to expand. You might spend a little bit on expanding on the water side. But other than that, you'll see me kind of remove until I run out of belief. And a lot of times the game will stall out. You'll be waiting for the game to do something, like you'll be waiting on belief. You'll be waiting on your ability to go ahead and expand. And now we have our visitors. This is our sorry come up and taunt our people, which actually brings their happiness down. So you want to scare them off. And then you're going to see me continue to shape. Now, here we go. We're going into boosting. Now, boosting is really important early game. It costs you really nothing. You're using your god powers to make them stronger. Now, I go through and I boost every single mob I can because it's going to overall reduce, especially on the mobile version, it's going to reduce the time it takes for them to build those houses. Now, I don't do it for every single mob, but if it's within a minute, if you boost them and it says it has 1 minute left, that's how long that boost usually lasts, about a minute real time. And so I'll boost them several times just to get those houses going, because they do take a while. Then I'll go here and remove all the trees. Again, constantly looking for little places to expand and shaping out and continuing to move in the direction I want to go. I want to go to the Temple of Discovery, and then, oh, there's improved housing. Not going to use that in this playthrough. And then we want to go to the dock after that. And again, here's one of the cool things. If you're out of belief, go around the edges and try to shape in all the edges while you're waiting. It'll give you something to do, one, as well as it will cost you nothing. It'll warn you when you don't have enough belief to shape. So I'll just go around and work the edges as best I can to try to expand and find where the edges of everything that I'm working on. And there we go. We've unlocked the Temple of Discovery while we're doing other stuff. We connect to Godus, so it allows you to go online. Now, this is going to unlock the store. It's going to unlock the gems. Now, on the mobile version, gems are vitally important. On the PC version, you can use your Temple of Doom. But on the mobile version, you don't have a Temple of Doom. So what you have to do is watch a lot of ads. Or you can spend money. Me, I just watch a bunch of ads. In fact, I'm actually going to count on the sidebar here approximately how many ads I've watched in this playthrough, along with how many times I had to reset it because of the sound, and a bunch of other stats you'll find on the sidebar. Now, we went ahead and scared away the Asari there so they don't irritate our people. I always suggest to get your beacons going as quickly as you can. We'll build up a bunch of extra belief and try to get to 100 belief so we can continue to push forward all of our guys. So we're now in the second row. We're going to go ahead and boost every single person. Definitely worth the time to do this because, again, you're just sitting around waiting for belief most of the time in the early game. If you notice, I'm only clicking a few of the belief. I'm not just collecting it all at the same time. We want to let that build up. And because it can go up to 40. So it's better if you don't just grab it right away. It's better if you let it build up. Now this guy's done over here. And he's trying to build a house. So I'm going to block him over here. He's done doing our dock. Again, you want to send him over there to do the dock right away. You only need one person. And now you've unlocked the Voyage of Discovery. Also shape all this in once this has been unlocked. Oh, there's ad number 2 we've done. And we'll start to work on our rock belief. And it's time to go on some voyages. Now, I found these voyages really fun. Now, you gotta remember, this game stopped development. So there are no more voyages. There will be no more updates. This is the game you get. And this will give you a little clue on how to get through. I got 3 stars on every single one of these. It's really about zooming in at the very beginning and being ready to shape as quick as possible so they can get where they're going. And then also I'll take out the trees and the rocks to get a little extra as well. So you want to do the minimum amount of shaping, get the trees, get the rocks as much as you can. And then speed them to the end. Now this one right here, you run into an issue. Now I think every single time I played this on PC, I've just went ahead and reinforced these. But this time I'm not. I'm going to actually quit out of there, and I'm going to let that build back up on its own, because it just takes time to build that up. Now I'm also going to go ahead and get the next beacon going. Even if you just have one person on that beacon, it's going to continuously run. Now on the mobile version, it takes a really, really long time for these beacons to go through. And again, going through, doing another level of boosting. Gonna boost all these guys one at a time. And then continue to shape out. And then I'll run out of belief, remove a few things. I want this to always be expanding. Using my houses on the sand, using my houses on the grass. And constantly watching ads every 30 seconds to a minute whenever they come up, so I can build up my gems. Now, why am I building up my gems? Because I'm thinking toward my settlement in the future, in which I want to upgrade my settlements, and the only way to do that is with gems. And so I'm collecting belief again. I'm constantly kind of sending people in. Now, here's the mentality. Is it better to have a whole bunch of people doing one thing, or is it better to have a whole bunch of people doing a whole bunch of different things at the same time? And that's kind of the mentality of what I'm doing right here. I'm going to send one person to each of these houses to lock them in place. This way, if I quit out of the game or I come back in the game, it doesn't shift my grid around, which it does sometimes, especially on the PC version. And so I'll lock in these houses, and I'll continue to use that belief to lock in those locations, and so they'll line up in that grid. And then also we'll look and see what our cooldown is of our Voyage to Discovery. About 16 minutes there, and then I can do the rest of those without spending any gems. Optimizing your gem use is the key to winning the mobile version of Godus. I'll zoom way in on this one and get this chest here. And again, you'll stall out of things to do. So 3 things that I do to keep my settlement going while I'm waiting is I boost all of my builders, I collect my belief and expand my housing, and then I watch ads. Now we have our first reset there. We lost sound, which happens a lot on the mobile version. And so I just quit out, force quit the app, and then relaunch it. Then you have to, the Asari are always back there. You have to get rid of them. Oh, we got a new card. Bronze Age Resources. That's a good one to work toward. Watching another ad. Also, if you click the ad down there where the little shop is, watch an ad there, and then click on the sidebar. Sometimes you get 2 ads. 1 minute and 14 seconds left on that Voyage of Discovery. Keep boosting all of our people. I'm going to start speeding all this stuff up now. Sprogging all of the houses that you can so it doesn't cost you any belief. And there we are. We're ready. Let's do another ad first. Let's get everything, all the belief collected. Let's get everybody sprogged and everybody building. You want to try to get all that going while you're also running these voyages. That's why you have the maximum amount of things going at the same time. So this one's pretty easy. You just put in your Shrine of Speed. I'm taking out all the trees and all of the rocks. And then the final one here, you just kind of shape your way through the middle so it doesn't end up getting killed by those guys. I remove all the trees, all the rocks, fast them to the end, and they're done. Very important to shape around that bottom part. And here we are, we're back. Sometimes it glitches out. You have to go back in like you're going to go back in and do voyages, and then it finally ends the voyages. We shape a little bit here by the Asari. They'll go running off. And working toward that rock belief. Oh, and there it is. And now it's time to get ourselves a nice bit of belief here. We're just going to shape all these out. Don't forget to do down at where you started as well. We got those going, and now that rock belief's going to allow me to expand and expand again. Farm and civilize. We got our first settlement now. And this is why we're building up our gems. So we can go into our settlements here, and we can go ahead and take a look at our current maximum amount of workers, which is 5. And we want to upgrade that so we can do more. We're at 39 gems right now. Again, using our belief to constantly create that belief generator. It's going to fuel our expansion. 17 minutes left on the beacon. Continue to work on these larger houses up here. Get all of our belief. Continue to expand. Again, the smaller ones are going to bring up belief more often. They have a shorter amount of time until the belief comes up, and then you can use them to keep expanding. There's our 3 times stronger sculpting. Definitely want to work on that. We've got another ad we can do. More expansion. And we're working toward larger abodes. So we definitely want to do that. We want to get our divine gifts going on. Now, doing divine gifts and all of that, it's going to lock in that time. So the second you get to divine gifts, it's going to say, okay, I was playing the game at 11 o'clock at night. Bam! Every 24 hours at 11 o'clock at night, it's going to have an Asari party that you're going to need to have your happiness higher than them, or you will lose your people. And steadily, the longer you're out of the game, it'll steadily lower the happiness of your population. So it's good to come in right before then or hours before then and boost your happiness of your followers. Again, lots of ads. I'm at 42 gems right now. I got some gems from the voyages, but I'm constantly waiting for those ads to come up. Oh, almost done with the beacon. And there we go, beacon unlocked. The Asari is now moved over to the left there. And we've unlocked this whole other side here. There we go. And of course, first thing we want to do is scare off the Asari so they're not irritating our people. And then it's time to open up all the chests. Now, eventually, when you do enough of these blue chests, by the way, it'll stop being the storyline. It'll give you a bunch of stickers. And so we're going to work on all of our chests here that we can. Remove all the trees, giving us that belief and also making it easier for us to find these chests. We're going straight toward Bronze Age resources. So we'll get more out of each chest. There's our beacon we're going to next. Going to get that belief and now use that belief again to go ahead and get all this stuff running at the same time. Remember, you're going to be busy doing other things like shaping and working your way toward these beacons. I prefer to just go ahead and have them working away on as many things as they can. I feel like that's the most efficient way of playing. And you can always just take a break, come back in 25 minutes, and that'll all be built. Because remember, it continues to build even when you're not in-game on the mobile version. On the PC version, it doesn't do that. But on the PC version, these things actually build faster. And there's no ads, there's none of that, which I greatly prefer. Because in this time and date when they came out with this game, this was all the rage. They have a massive amount of ads you had to watch, which I consider part of the game mechanics now. Watching ads is part of the game mechanics of Godus. That's how you get your gems, mostly in the very beginning. When I can, I'm constantly clicking those ads. I'm constantly doing them. I cut them out of this video, obviously, so you guys don't have to watch them. And now I'm kind of winding down. I'm going to go ahead and try to finish up everything I have going. And then I want to come back later to start my competition with the Asari. Now, if you'd like to know how to unlock the next beacon and beyond, I'm going to go ahead and have another episode. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Hit that like button. Go down there in the comments. Let me know how you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in there. And be on the lookout for episode number 2. We'll see you all in the next one. Hey everybody, Kismet here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right in the center of the screen. Also check me out live on twitch.tv/Kismet. I'll see you all next time.